welcome to Traveling Inside Out. This is Alina, your host. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the podcast that explores the world within and out. Thank you for subscribing to Traveling Inside Out, wherever you find your podcast. And remember to also subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope everybody can hear me just fine. Um, Good morning, everybody. I have said, I have said that I'm going to share a few pictures. I only found two. So before doing that, once again, we're doing the advent calendar, not a sponsor, from Aldi. And today is the 12th of December. Ooh, finally, we're switching up. I had a lot of black teas lately, the majority of them, and we are switching to a green tea or a green tea, and it says mulled apple green tea. Let's see if it smells at least. Yeah, it smells appley. Let's hope that the taste is also going to translate. There we go. We're brewing. We're brewing. So I'm going to share. Um, I am going to share some pictures. Actually, let me see if I can do this and this. There we go. So share screen. Mm. So I was talking yesterday about the Christmas traditions in Iceland. So this is the Christmas cat. So this is a huge. You can see here, like somehow, this is one of the how it appears in town. So basically, you would be like up to here probably or something like that. It is a really huge Christmas cat. This I think I don't remember if this was in Reykjavik. Probably, yeah, this was in Reykjavik. Yeah, this is the bus stop. Yeah, this is in Reykjavik, somewhere downtown area. And then um, the other one, the other one is some of the Yule lads. So we went, which is I'm realizing now this was 8 years ago. Somewhere in Iceland, in the north part of the country, there are some caves. Usually, this area tourists go to see. It's like a small hike or like some hikes that you can take, and they're all interesting place to go to it regardless. But that specific time, it was when Yule lads came to town. So these were some of the Yule lads, and I think this one is the sausage. As you can see, it's cooking sausage. This was the sausage. I don't remember. This one is also cooking something here, so I don't remember who was doing what. But people kids were just so crazy for them. And then later in the night, we went to what is called the Blue Lagoon of the North. um, and they joined, and I cannot imagine because they were dressed up just like this and going inside the water, which was also crazy because they are so protective of their waters. You're supposed to triple shower before you. I'm overreacting. So you're supposed to shower and you're supposed to put a swimming suit after you shower. But this time around, they were going in dressed in clothes, then they would come out, they would sing some carols or whatever, and then they would come back in. And I was like, it was freezing out. It was like, I would not be dressed in, be all wet, and then come out and then go back in and then so on. But children were loving it. So yes, I just wanted to share these two things from yesterday. And now I decided to start the thing a little bit earlier just because I have some things that I have to do quite early in the morning. So hopefully, once again, everybody can hear me. And let's have a sip of the, what was it? I forgot already. Malt apple green tea. Let's see what it says on the back first. The rosemary herb and apple flavor with green tea. Rosemary in a tea. Yeah, you taste the apple a little. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. However, mm, mm, okay, I'm gonna have a few more sips and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to continue talking a little bit about tea because I don't know for the rest of you, but for me, I found it interesting because as much as I love tea, I have never been studying or trying to learn more about tea. And so I'm gonna continue reading from Wikipedia, because there's another thing that I'm finding interesting. So it's about processing and classification, and then we're gonna go to blending and additives. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. It's just that I hate when people are saying that all teas are the same. And first and foremost, there are different categories depending on how the leaf is processed. So there is white, which is wilted and unoxidized. There is yellow, which is unwilted and unoxidized, but allowed to yellow. Green, unwilted and unoxidized. Oolong, which is wilted, bruised, and partially oxidized. Black, which is wilted, sometimes crushed, and fully oxidized, called Hong Cha, red tea in Chinese and other East Asian tea cultures. Obviously, I don't know if I said that correctly. Post fermented, which is dark, is green tea that has been allowed to ferment compost. Um, and so that's called pu'er if from the Yunnan district of southwestern China, or hei cha. So it's Hong Cha, red tea, and Hei Cha, black tea in Chinese tea culture. So anyway, that is very interesting to me, and the whole processing of the tea um, changes basically all of it. Anyway, I also wanted to mention tea blending. That is a combination of different teas together to achieve the final product. Such teas may combine afters from the same cultivation areas or several different ones. I used to do that quite a bit because I used to have all sort of herbs that we make tea out of. Back in Romania, I used to have a lot of jars with all sort of teas, and I would blend them depending on the mood. But flavor and scented teas are enhancements of the base tea. So basically, exactly how what I'm having it here. So the base tea in general in this calendar, it's either black or green. And then I have obviously the flavors. So this can be accomplished through directly adding flavoring agents such as ginger, cloves, mint leaves, cardamom, bergamot, vanilla, spearmint, and then apparently, in the example of jasmine tea, because tea easily retains odors, it can be placed in proximity to an aromatic ingredient to absorb its aroma. So, what I'm understanding here is that jasmine tea is not actually the jasmine thing, but it gets the aroma. I wanted to read something because I know that there's in black tea, and I also do that, people add milk, which is not something that everybody does. But what I didn't know, it says here the addition of milk to tea in Europe was first mentioned in 1680 by the epitolist Madame de Sévigné, which sounds French by the name, right? She was a French aristocrat, remember for her letter writing. Many teas are traditionally drunk with milk in cultures where dairy products are consumed. So that's, for example, the Indian masala chai, or as I was saying, the British, or I wasn't saying, but I kind of was thinking about it, the British tea blends. These teas tend to be very hearty varieties of black tea, which can be tasted through the milk, such as Assam and the East, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically the milk is reducing a bit the acidity. It's kind of the same with coffee in a way. Okay, and I want to, okay, let me see what else it says. The Han Chinese do not usually drink milk with tea, but the Manchus do, and the elite of the Qing dynasty to the Chinese Empire continues to do so. Hong Kong style milk tea is based on British habits, classic. Tibetans and other Himalayans people traditionally drink tea with milk or yak butter and salt. In Eastern European countries and in Russia and Italy, tea is commonly served with lemon juice. Yes. So, but I wouldn't put the lemon juice in the black tea. I would never do that. But I am, like, I would put lemon juice in like green tea and a bit of honey, for example. In Poland, tea is traditionally served with a slice of lemon and is sweetened with either sugar or honey. Exactly what I was saying. Tea with milk is called Bawarka, which is Bavarian style in Polish. In Australia, for example, tea with milk is known as white tea. So yes, Eastern Europe over here confirms that I have had all sort of, because we don't drink black tea that often in Romania, or as in that's not what I grew up having as a tea. It was just herbs of all sort of kinds. Uh, and then I also want to mention the packaging because there are obviously the tea bags. So I didn't know that in 1907, American tea merchant Thomas Sullivan began distributing samples of his tea in small bags of silk with a drawstring. Um, and then consumers noticed they could simply leave the tea in the bag and reuse it with fresh tea. However, the potential of this distribution and packaging method would not be fully realized until later. During World War II, tea was rationed in the United Kingdom. In 1953, after rationing in the UK ended, Yorkshire based tea manufacturer Tetley launched the tea bag in the UK, and it was an immediate success. So it was actually coming from the Americans, which I was not aware. Um, and then there is the pyramid tea bag, which I rarely have that. That was introduced by Lipton and in 1996. So all of this is really interesting. Some types of pyramid tea bags have been criticized as being environmental or unfriendly since their synthetic material is not as biodegradable as loose tea leaves and paper tea bags. I have been lately, as I talked already about the tea a few days ago. I'm trying to get loose tea because it's more eco friendly, in my opinion. And, um, I like to see the tea, basically. Does that make sense? I didn't know about the compressed tea. That is like a tea bricks. Didn't know about that. And then obviously the instant tea, and then the bottled and canned tea, which was introduced in 1981 in Japan. I didn't know about the majority of these, so maybe we can talk a little bit more in depth another time. I'm gonna have a shorter episode today. Once again, I hope that the sound worked well. I'm still kind of upset about that episode that I've lost because of no sound. And I'm going to mention, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. As I said, starting on the 17th, we are traveling for the holidays, and we're not coming until after the New Year's Eve. We're not coming back. So there's around a week of me not, I'm not very sure how I'm going to do this. So I might not do lives. I might either record, or I'm going to maybe make a post about it. I still want to have the tea once a day, but I am going to open this. I'm not going to carry the whole thing with me. It makes no sense. So I'm going to open the things and just grab. I'm going to mark on each individual what day it was and so on. So I'm going to try it like that, but we will see how I'm going to do this. I'm not very sure, and I it's gonna be complicated because I need to boil up, I need to have a tea, but then I need to be away, and I don't have privacy because I'm not in my own place. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. But regardless of how I'm gonna do this, I am excited to see the end of the calendar because I need to grade this because mm, I would say that I'm gonna give this also a 3.5. 3.5 for this tea. Um, I'm not that impressed with it. I don't remember in the beginning there were a few of them that I liked, and then it went down. Anyway, thank you everybody who joined me, and especially the ones who are watching afterwards. And I'm gonna see you again tomorrow with another episode. Let's see what tea comes next. See you all next time, as in tomorrow. This concludes today's episode. Thank you for listening and for reviewing Traveling Inside Out. If you want to get in touch with me, send an email to podcast@alinaigrad.com. And remember, your outer journey begins with inner work. Until next time, bye.